welcome home. So today's episode is kicking off, this whole thing that I've been planning to do for years. All right. This podcast, there's been several iterations of it. It was supposed to be video. It was supposed to be just audio. I tried to just do the content creator thing where I would just upload, my day and kind of figure out how that goes. I tried to do the thing where they say, just pick up a camera and just upload, see how that goes. None of it worked. So here we are. This is the final iteration of what I'm going to do. And by final, what I mean is this is the one I'm going to run with. You kind of get to a point where, and I don't know if, anyone out there has felt something similar where you've been spinning your wheels. You've been trying so hard to kind of do research, figure out what you want to do, figure out how you want to do it. You want to use the right apps. You want to use the right hardware. Everything has to be right before you go. You know what I mean? But that doesn't get you anywhere. It really doesn't. That kind of thinking has had me start. I look back. I started another podcast prior to this. I did 3 episodes. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Needless to say, I've been stuck in analysis paralysis for a long time, and I'm sure you have probably been stuck in something very similar with something that you're very passionate about that you can add to the world. So what is this? So House of Castell is my love letter. It is my, magnus opus, whatever you call that. It's my attempt to download my experience, my education, my relationships, everything that I know and love into you, the viewer. Because for whatever reason, I've been through so many things and I've never been able to kind of transcribe it, to put it down, to pass it on to anyone except my children. And, my family members and people around me. So what I'm going to try to do with this is allow you a little glimpse into my life, what I've been able to accomplish, and also, hopefully you can take something from that. Now, you don't have to take it whole. You don't have to, agree with everything I say. But what I can absolutely 100% guarantee you is if you take one thing that you found useful over these next 100, 200, 500,000 episodes, and you put that into practice, you will be further ahead than 95% of people. I truly believe that. So we're going to be talking about a few things on this podcast that I can assure you. All right. Number 1 is going to be your mindset. Okay. What is happening upstairs here makes a huge difference to who you are, how you show up for yourself, how you show up for the people around you, and how you're able to impact the world around you. Next, we're going to be talking about finances, money, wealth, what that means to each individual person, and how you can leverage some different strategies to not only grow your wealth, but how to use your wealth. So it doesn't matter if you have $1 or $1 million or $1 billion. What you've got to be able to do is leverage what you have at the level you're at. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not even a millionaire. But what I can do is show you some creative ways to leverage what you may have at the different levels so that you can understand you have a wealth of options out there. And lastly, we're going to be talking about family. Okay? All of these three things work together to build a full life for you, the generation that comes after you, the people that work for you, your friends, and even the generation that came before you. There's a responsibility that you have as an individual, men in particular, to be able to leverage your mindset, your discipline, your vision to impact a lot of people. Okay? Now, if you're not interested in that, if you just want to live life for you, and you kind of just want to, figure out, okay, how can I live the most fulfilling life for myself? I don't want any stress. I don't want to worry about anybody, but I just want to do my own thing. This is not for you. This is not for you. Okay? This is for people that are chasing that. Okay? That are chasing the goal of responsibility, of growth, of continuous improvement, and of, legacy. If that is not what you're looking for, this is not the show for you. So I just want to say, it's 3 a.m. here on Wednesday. And I jumped out of my bed and I ran to my office here. And I really had to make a decision. I was like, you know what? I have to start recording right now, today. It's been a tough year. I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot going on. I started a business. I've been trading stocks. My family has grown. There have been family members lost. There's a lot of illness in my family as well. The world is crazy. Trump is in office. He's up and down. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's trying his best, I assume. I've lost friends. I've gained some. I've had spats. It's all over the place. And through this year, I've learned some invaluable lessons, and I'm finally starting to put the pieces together in ways that make sense. It's like I'm unlocking another level to the matrix. And I was laying down and I realized, I've always been chasing comfort. You know what I mean? I've been chasing my opportunity to just sit back and relax. I want desperately to relax. I want desperately to fucking relax. It's too much sometimes. The amount of responsibilities, the amount of things that are going on, you just want to sit back, you want to play your video games, you want to smoke a little weed, you want to drink a little bit, you just want to relax. But what I realized, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. There is one saying that I will say is absolutely true, and that is, you choose your hard. Because as I relax, every time in life I relax, my life gets harder. It gets exponentially harder. And it forces me to go to another level of discipline and execution to get out of that hole. I'll make a couple $100,000 and I'll be like, oh, thank God. I can relax. And it'll slowly dwindle. I'll make a bunch of friends and I'll say, oh, finally, I can relax. I can go back home. I've got the circle that I wanted. And I'll slowly lose those people. You see where I'm going with this? There are certain rules to the universe that you just can't ignore. You know what I mean? You cannot ignore these rules. They're universal. They're irrefutable. And the rule is stay in motion at all times. You cannot stop. And that is the hard you have to choose. Because every time I've been in motion, every single time that I have stayed in motion, stayed true, stayed disciplined, I have been rewarded. There has never been a time where I have put my all into something, whether it's with people or money or things or hobbies, and not received the harvest after I've been planting my seeds. It's never happened. However, the opposite is also true. If you do not tend to your field after you plant those seeds, your harvest will be lacking. That's just the truth of it. I worked for an agricultural company, and to be able to visit those farms out there in the Midwest, vast fields as far as the eye can see, green, lush vegetation, these guys are running multi-million-dollar operations, and they don't stop. They are up every day in their machines. They are managing hundreds of people. they have hundreds or thousands of bushels that they are continually harvesting every single year. And there's a process to that. There is never a scenario where they could go out and plant and the job is done. They have to go out, they have to plant, they have to tend to the field, they have to get rid of varmints and diseases. They have to water these plants. They have to continually check to make sure that they're growing okay. They have to check with others and compare and make sure everything is okay. And then harvest season comes and they have to get back out there again and get up every single day, sometimes 12, 14, 15, 16-hour days, and drive that tractor up and down. It's boring. It sucks. Up and down straight lines for miles on their fields. And even if they have employees, if someone calls in sick, they hop in that machine and they go. Because harvest is part of the process as well. That taught me so much. So here I am in another season where I have invested in the machines. I have planted my seeds. I've tended to my seeds, but I took a break when it came time to harvest. And my harvest was extremely light. It was lacking. I'm not going to lie. And so I have a decision to make. And this is why I had to jump up and kind of just get into this immediately. I have a decision to make. Am I going to turn this on, this higher version of me, this higher self, and leave it on and stick to that person and accept the challenges and the pain and the exhaustion, the damn exhaustion that comes with that? The falling asleep at the end of the day. No time to even watch TV. No time to scroll on your phone because you're so exhausted from the amount of people you've had to deal with during the day, the physical labor sometimes that comes with it, the mental exhaustion of reading hundreds of pages of contracts or going through policies or staying on the phone with, customer service for some esoteric app that you've got to get working to get your business running. Am I going to step into that, or am I going to step back and accept the hard of missing paychecks, of losing respect, of employees leaving because they can't rely on you for sustenance, of, your children growing up with difficulty, not missing a meal, but with difficulty. They don't have everything they need. Is that who I'm going to be? Or am I going to elevate to the person that I have been many times, just not all the time? I think I'm going to choose to elevate. And part of the reason I'm recording this and part of the reason why I'm even starting this show is because I want to bring you along as part of that journey. Right now, I just had a terrible harvest. I went from the greatest harvest of my life 3 months ago to a terrible harvest because I stopped planting and I stopped tending to my crops. So I want to bring you along so that everyone can kind of see what it really takes and what it really looks like to have that bountiful harvest. How hard it is to do, but how rewarding it is. It's not for everybody, like I said. It really isn't for everyone. I'm not going to sit up here and say, you can do it too. You can, but you got to really do it. You cannot phone it in because God, the universe, spirits, whatever you want to call it, they will know. They are always watching. There is nothing that you can get past God. There is nothing that you can use to fool the universe into thinking that you've been doing the work. It knows. And everyone out there who is also doing the work, they know. You cannot fool someone who is doing the work. I'm actually, in a period of my life where I can read people at the snap of a finger. I can have a conversation with them for 30 seconds and automatically know exactly what they're about, where they are in life. And I'll tell you how I do that. That's part of the fruits of past harvests. We hired a guy this year. I knew within the first day of talking to him that it wasn't going to work. First day. And, you know, my general manager, he was like, no, 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 let's give him a chance. Let's figure it out. He just needs a little coaching. I was like, man, listen, I'll tell you right now, this is not going to work, but this is a lesson you need to learn because he was close to the guy. This is a lesson you need to learn. It ended up being that not only did he cost us thousands of dollars in business, we got bad reviews from him. He was late to every job. He did good work. I'm not going to lie. But his actual ability to be professional was just not there. So who are you? Do you do good work? But you just are missing your professionalism piece? We'll talk about that in this show. Or are you professional but you can't really get your work to the level it needs to be? We'll talk about that too. If you can put those two together, if you can figure out how to work with people, find the right resources that you need, market yourself well. If you can build a solid foundation at home with your family, and if you are willing to get up every day to grow yourself, to strengthen yourself, strengthen your family, strengthen your ties, and execute once you leave that door, you will have a bountiful harvest too. And that's what the House of Castell is going to be about. I look forward to you coming with us on this journey. I may have some interviews going forward, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, I'm absolutely sure that everyone can take something away from this podcast. I hope you stick around for that. Have a good day.